誠にありがとうございます。本線はお車、バイクでご乗船のお客様へご案内いたします。また、横断警報を搭載されているお車は解除いただきますようご協力をお願いいたします。Are reserved in advance. Pass the QR code on your flight fare to have your pass with you when leaving your room. For passengers traveling with children, this is very comfortable information. Now, shampoo, body, and shower rooms on the 7th floor are now Throughout the ferry's interior, decreased security checks.
오랜만이야.